And for those joining the recording, I'll just let you know that we'll be using a strap and a set of weights this morning. And we're actually I'm gonna suggest that we start seated today. So you could sit in a chair, you could sit up on something, or you could just sit on the floor. And if your preference is to lie down, you could also lie down. So if you're sitting, we're going to take a few moments to just ground ourselves in our seated posture. And if you're sitting and it's not comfortable with your legs crossed, it's fine if your legs are straight. So let's think about our sitting bones and ground down through our sitting bones. Send roots down from your sitting bones down into whatever you're sitting on, and imagine that the ground is under you and you're sending your roots down into the earth. And we're going to ground down as a way to sit up nice and tall. We can have our hands resting wherever they're comfortable. If you're lying down, just take a moment to feel the ground beneath you. You could have your eyes open or have your eyes closed. But let's begin by just connecting with how we're feeling. Taking some time to connect with the feeling of our bodies. How we're feeling physically. So we notice our skin, the feeling of our muscles, maybe even the feeling of your bones, your joints. Notice if you're clenching or gripping anywhere. And see if an area that you might be holding tightly is able or willing to soften a bit, release or let go. A nice way to release tension is to think about softening the roof of the mouth. And as you think about the roof of the mouth as a narrow dome shape, can you imagine the roof of the mouth broadening out towards the sides of the mouth, the roof of the mouth broadening out towards the back of the head, the base of the skull. So rather than being a dome, it's more of a flat, plain surface. And that more flat surface expanding out into the space almost behind you, just kind of expanding ever outwards. And just observe how that feels. As we're connecting with how we're feeling this morning, let's consider how we're feeling mentally and emotionally this morning. And can we welcome our state of being in a way that is kind and accepting, offering ourselves understanding and compassion for how we're feeling this morning? We often tend to be our own harshest critic. We often can be very hard on ourselves. was doing some reading yesterday about how important it is to quiet that voice of criticism, that doesn't serve us well in terms of how our brain functions. So if we want to have optimal brain function, if we want to age well, one key component is to try to be kind to ourselves, to be compassionate and understanding. So when we connect with how we're feeling, we can do so in a way that is how we would treat our best friend. Kindness, encouragement, understanding. Rather than criticism or negative judgment. And because we love and care for ourselves, let's set an intention now to engage with this practice in a way that is optimal for how we're feeling today. You made the really good decision to come to do yoga this morning. And now let's do our yoga in a way that is just right for how we're feeling. So let's take a few moments to just breathe deeply now. Feeling the breath moving in and down and expanding out in all directions. Nice big full deep breath in. And then letting that breath empty all the way out. And you might want to blow out with your mouth closed. You can also exhale with the mouth open. But the in-breath, if you can, breathe in through your nose, so you moisten that breath. But feel that breath expanding. Really full, deep inhalations up and out and behind, filling up your lungs. And then let all that breath that you've taken in have an opportunity to fully empty and release out of you. So invite in positive energy. Let that breath that's flowing in be full of just what you need this morning. Energy, positiveness, whatever you need flowing in. And let the exhale be an opportunity to just let go of anything stale, unnecessary, anything that's not serving you, anything that's bothering you. So the breath can really set the stage to kind of cleanse the body. Help us to really prepare to engage in this practice as like a new, fresh beginning. So a couple more deep breaths, letting this breath offer you what you need this morning. And then after your next full release of breath, with your next breath in, you can open your eyes if they were closed. And we're going to continue breathing, and we're going to add in some movement with the breath. So if you were lying down, I'd make your way up to sitting now. And we're going to hold on to the knees, and we're going to begin to press down to straighten up really tall. And then we're going to start to extend the spine. So we're going to lift the heart, and we're going to arch the back a little bit. And that's with the inhale. And then with the exhale, as we hold on to the knees, we're going to round back. You're going to kind of roll back a little bit and drop your chin to chest. So we're going to inhale and straighten up and drop the shoulders and lift the heart. And we're going to exhale and roll back, round the spine, tuck the chin. A couple more like that. Inhale to rise and extend and arch. And exhale to round back. Again, root down, inhale, rise up. And exhale and roll back. This time we're going to inhale and straighten ourselves up and then try to hinge forward. Just kind of lean into it, trying not to bend at the waist or bring the head forward. And then come back up, take a breath. Again, exhale, lean forward, and then we're gonna circle around. Circle to one side, and then go back and around, circle to the other side, lean forward. Same direction again, circle to the side, go back around, circle to the other side, and lean forward. Let's change direction on that circle. Lean the other way, roll back, circle around, and lean forward. Do that again. Circling around and lean forward, and then straighten yourself up. We're just going to change the cross of the leg. So we always cross one leg in and then the other. Let's change that. So the other leg crosses in first. We're just going to do that again. Root down, rise up, breathe in. Exhale and lean forward, and then start to circle around in one direction. Lean back, lean the other way. Lean forward, go in that direction again. Just kind of waking up the hips here a little bit as we circle around. As you lean forward, this time let's change direction. Lean the other way, circle back around, lean the other way and lean forward. One more time in that direction. If that doesn't feel good for your hips, just adjust the position of your legs. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna straighten up. And if your legs don't like to be crossed, you could straighten your legs again. Let's place one hand on the floor and reach the other arm up toward the sky. Take a breath in as you reach up. And then the hand on the floor, step it a little bit away, bend that elbow and stretch over to the side. So you are going to take a breath in here as you reach long. Try to keep that opposite sitting bone, the same as the arm overhead, on the floor. Take a breath into that side. And then bring that arm back down. So other side, we're going to reach the other arm up, breathe in, step the hand away, bend the elbow, and then stretch over. Keep that sitting bone down as you reach long with that arm and take another breath. And then bring that arm down. Let's just do a gentle twist. So we'll bring one arm across and the other hand behind and just twist in that direction. And breathe in and out. Nice gentle twist here. And then unwind. We're going to go to the other side, one hand behind, other arm across, twist in that direction, and just breathe in and out here. Great, and then we'll unwind. All right, we're going to make our way onto all fours now. You're always welcome to kneel on a blanket if that would be more comfortable for your knees. As we make our way here, we'll get our wrists beneath shoulders, knees under hips. Let your spine be nice and long. If you want to move a little bit, go ahead and do so. Make sure you feel some weight, not just under the heel of your hands, but under your whole hand, fingers, knuckles, thumbs. Spine nice and long. Let's take one arm and the opposite leg and reach them out now. We can press out through the heel, reach long through that leg, reach long through that arm. You might want thumb to the ceiling here. We'll take a breath here. Now make sure as your leg goes back and your arm goes out that you don't arch the back. Put a little support by engaging the belly here. All right, so we'll take a breath here and then we'll put that hand and knee down. Let's do the other side. Leg goes back, arm goes forward, opposite arm, opposite leg. Reach out long here. Little tone in the belly. Take a breath and then bring that hand and knee down. Let's go back to the first side. Reach opposite arm and opposite leg out. Take a breath and then bring that hand and knee down. Other side. Reach opposite arm and opposite leg out. Take a breath and exhale, hand and knee down. All right, first side, we reach the arm and leg out. Take a breath. And then we're going to bring the elbow in toward the knee. We're going to knee to elbow, lift up in the belly. And then reach out long and take a breath. And exhale, elbow to knee, lift up in the belly. Reach out long, take a breath. Exhale, elbow to knee, lift up. Again, reach out long, breathe. Exhale, hug in, lift. 2 more times. Reach out long, breathe. Exhale, hug in, lift. Again, reach out long. Exhale, hug in and lift. This time we're going to reach out long, take a breath, and then hand and knee come back down. Great, let's do the other side. So start opposite arm and opposite leg, reaching out long, taking a breath, and then bring the elbow in toward the knee, lift up in the belly. And then inhale and reach out long. Exhale, hug in, lift up. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hug in, lift up. Inhale, reach up. Doing great. Couple more. Hug in, lift up. Inhale, reach out. Nice and long. Exhale, hug in, lift. Press back through the heel as the arm reaches forward. And then lift up in the belly. 2 more. Reach out long. Exhale, hug in, lift. Inhale, reach out long. Exhale, hug in, lift. This time, reach out long, take a breath, and then hand and knee come back down. Let's go ahead and sit back into child's pose, letting the head rest on the floor or on your bent arms. Take a moment to check in here. Connect with your breath. Notice how you're feeling. Offer yourself a little love and care. And then lift your head up, reach your arms forward. We're going to come forward onto knees, and then we're going to lower ourselves down onto belly. You might need to adjust where you are on your mat. Okay, let's push back up to knees, so it's like a push-up, and then we're going to take the hips back. And then we're going to come forward and lower down, and push up, and take the hips back. So it's like a tricep push-up. Your chest lowers down between your arms, and then we push up and go back. So your hands are just a little wider than your body here. Lowering down and pushing up and back. Let's do a few more like this. Getting those shoulders working here. Pushing up and back. And lowering down. And up and back. This next time we're going to lower down. We're going to stay down, and I want you to roll to your side so you're facing your device. So there's one arm that's on the ground. Take that arm and grab your other shoulder. Your upper arm, we're going to place down right in front of your chest. And your knees are going to be a little bit bent. They're not going to be 90 degrees. It's going to be more of an open angle. We're going to do push-ups a little differently here. We're going to take this hand, this top arm, and we're going to push down to lift up. And then we're going to come back down. So these are different. I've only done these a few times, but it's hard. It really targets the shoulder to work in a way that it doesn't work in a regular push-up. So ideally, you're keeping your knees stacked, but I seem to need to straighten my top leg in order to do this. So we're going to do this a couple more times, pushing up and lowering down, and pushing up and lowering down. Let's do 2 more. Pushing up and lowering down. And last one, push it up and lower it down. Now you can just turn away from your device to do the other side, or swing your legs around so you're still facing your device. We're going to come on to the other side. So this bottom arm is just going to grab your top shoulder. This top arm, you're going to place your hand just in front of your chest so that you can push down to lift your body up and then support yourself back down. So push yourself up and lower yourself down. Push yourself up and lower yourself down, and push yourself up and lower down. Let's do 2 more. Push yourself up and lower yourself down, and push yourself up. Good work. And lower yourself down. Great. We're going to come onto all fours again. We're going to do a little stretch for the shoulders. So we're going to sit back like we're sitting back in child's pose. We're going to walk the arms forward. I want you to place one hand on top of the other. And then like have your hands in line with the bottom hand shoulder, right? So your one hand is straight from your shoulder, your other hand is on top, reaching across. Your head can be between your arms. Kind of take your hips away from your hands. Take them back and over to the side a little bit. And then can you rotate your chest? So you're kind of, your head's between your arms, you're gonna rotate in one direction. So you're kind of looking under that arm and then center and then rotate the other way. Kind of look under that arm and then rotate center. So you're rotating your body maybe towards the device or away from the device and then back to center and then rotating the other way and back to center. So now the hand that's on top, put that straight forward of your shoulder and take the other hand and place it on top of that arm. So it's reaching across. Your head is between your arms. And again, you're just going to rotate your chest towards your device and then back towards the floor and then rotate your chest the other way and then back toward the floor. Try that again. Just kind of rotating. So your shoulders kind of, one shoulder lifts and then your shoulders face the floor and then rotating, other shoulder lifts and then down. Great. All right, let's take the arms straight out in front and we'll make our way up to downward facing dog. So we're pressing down with the hands, taking the hips way up and back. Let's shake the head a few times and just try to free up the neck a bit here. We'll bend a knee and press a heel down and bend that knee and press the other heel down. Just alternate again or move in any way that feels like a nice stretch for your body. Let's go ahead and bend both knees a bit. See if we can draw the hips a little further up and back as we breathe in and out here. Create a little space between the shoulder blades. And then let's walk our hands back towards our feet, lowering the heels down. We'll be folded over, nice soft bent knees here. Let's take a breath into the upper back. As the breath empties, we can start to draw the belly in and begin to roll ourselves up. Taking a little time to unfurl the spine here. Stack those vertebrae. Feel your feet grounding down as you're rolling up. Eventually you stack those neck vertebrae and bring your head up. As the feet root down, let's reach out wide with the arms, broadening across the chest, the back, the shoulders, the arms. And then as we root down, let's reach the arms up, lengthen and lift. Take a breath. And then we'll exhale our arms down at our sides. And then let's turn towards our device and pick up some weights now. I think you could probably pick up your heavier weights if you have two pair. Not really sure, which is probably doesn't make a huge difference here. So let's start with some squats. So let's have our feet slightly wider than our hips with our toes turned out a bit. And we're just gonna sit back into a squat and we're just gonna curl up and then we're gonna lower down. So we're just gonna get those thigh muscles working. Yeah, sitting down and curling the weight up. Just do that a couple more times. Now, you might want to bring your feet more underneath you. We're going to just do heel raises. So lift your heels up and lower your heels down. So as we lift the heels up, we're going to press up and then lower down. So we're going to lift the heels up and lower down. We're going to press up and lower down. So the heels want to come down quick, but can we lower down a little slower? So we gradually come up and we gradually go down. We gradually go up. We gradually go down. So let's sit into a squat and then do a heel raise. And sit into a squat and then do a heel raise. And sit and press and sit and press. And we'll do a few more of these. You're doing great. All right, one more like this. And then stay up. So we're gonna do that heel raise again. And as you come down, could you take one foot off the floor? Actually, let's get rid of the weights because this is complicated. We don't need to make it harder. So we're just gonna raise the heels up, and you might wanna have the wall or a chair. Can you lower down with a foot off the floor? Try it on the other side. Raise up, then lift a foot off the floor and lower down. So raise up and then lower down with 1 foot. Raise up, lower down with 1 foot. Couple more. So it really gets those calf muscles working, right? Raise up and lower down. And the ankles and the feet. Couple more. Lower down, raise up, lower down, raise up. Last one, raise up and lower down. Nice work. All right, let's come to the front of our mats. We'll do a little flow here. So we're gonna root down to stand tall. We'll reach the arms out. We'll inhale and reach up. Let's exhale and swan dive forward. Knees can be soft here. We'll take a breath into the upper back. As we exhale, let's extend the spine forward. Hands could go to shins, lengthen through the crown. Inhale and fold over again. Exhale, hands come down and we're gonna step back to down dog. Let's take a breath here. And exhale to straight arm plank. Let's hold plank for a while. So really pushing down with the hands, getting long heel to crown, finding your breath. Think about where your hips are in relation to your shoulders and your ankles. If you feel like they've dropped down a bit, and lift them up maybe just a centimeter. So there's just a little more support for your midsection. Can you maintain that support with a little bend in your elbows? If you need to drop to knees, that's fine. Take another breath here. And then let's all drop to knees and we're gonna lower down onto belly. Finding prone mountain here. Chest sinks into the floor. Heels of the hands drop back a little bit. Long toes to crown. Let's inhale up to baby cobra. And then exhale back down. Let's do that again. We're going to inhale up to baby cobra, pulling the heart forward, and we'll lift our hands up, lift the elbows up, hug them in. Feel the upper back muscles working here. And then hands come down, chest comes down. This time hands stay down. We'll inhale up to baby cobra. We could stay here or come up a little higher into cobra. Think about legs pulling the heart forward. And then exhale back down. All right, let's come on to forearms now. Get your elbows right under your shoulders. We're gonna be on our forearms and I want us to come up onto our knees. So we're in a kneeling forearm plank, the knees behind us rather than right under the hips. And then can we come up into arms beneath us, hands beneath us, and then lower down onto forearms. So we're just walking up and lowering down. So we're gonna change sides. So I'll tell you which arms and so forth. So we're gonna do left hand and then right hand, and then come down, left forearm, right forearm. And then start with the other arm, right hand, come down, right forearm, left forearm. Start with your left. Left hand, left forearm, right forearm. Other arm, right hand, right forearm, left forearm. Let's do left hand, right hand. Now, tap with your left hand, tap your opposite shoulder. With your right hand, tap your opposite shoulder. And then left forearm, right forearm. Start with your right arm. Right hand, left hand. Tap your shoulder with your right hand. Left hand taps your right shoulder. And then right forearm, left forearm. One more time through. Left hand, right hand, left hand taps right hand taps left, and then left forearm and right forearm. Good job. All right. With your forearms on the floor, can you lift your knees off the floor into forearm plank? We can just hold here or add some little circles, stirring the pot. We'll circle around in one direction a few times if you're stirring. And then we'll stir the pot the other way, just kind of spiraling your pelvis around. We'll do a couple more in this direction. And then just hold plank, take a breath, and then lower knees, lower hips. Let's let the chest come down. Let's let the head rest on our hands. And let's work the lower body a bit. Press the front of the hips down and lift the legs up. Yeah. So the hips are pressing down, so the low back is long. The tailbone is reaching back towards the toes as the front of the hips press into the floor. And can you bring your heels in towards your midline and then separate your legs? Bring your heels in towards your midline and separate your legs. Bring them in again and separate. Last time, bring them in and separate. And then relax your legs down. Now the upper body, take your arms out in a V, and we're going to lift the arms a little bit off the floor, and then we're going to draw the elbows in towards the waist. And as we do that, I want you to lift your chest up into a baby cobra. And then lower your chest down as you reach your arms out in a V. So we're going to hug the elbows into the waist as we lift up, pull the heart forward, and then lower down, reach the arms out in a V. Hug in, lift up, pull forward, and then lower down. We can do it just like this, or you could add a leg lift at the same time. So hug in, lift the legs as you lift the chest, and lower and reach out into a V. Hug in, squeeze, lift, and lower, reach out. Couple more. Hug in, lift, and breathe. Hug in, lift, and reach out. Let's do two more. Hug in, lift the heart, pull forward, lift the legs, and lower, reach. Last one. Hug in, come on up, a little bit longer, and then lower down. Great work. All right, let's bring our hands next to chest. Push back to knees. We're going to go all the way back to child's pose. You can have your head on the floor, your head on your bent arms. You could have your arms at your side, whatever feels good. Check in here, breathe. Love, compassion, understanding. With our next breath, let's lift our heads up and reach our arms way out. Make our way to downward facing dog. Breathe in and out here. Then walk your hands back. Bend your knees, lower your hips, sweep the arms forward. Take your arms up, push up, straighten up, take a breath. Exhale, swan dive forward. Walk your hands out. Make your way to your plank position and then lift up to down dog. Walk your hands back. Fold over, bend the knees, lower the hips, sweep the arms forward, and then overhead. Take a breath. Let it go. Next breath, push down to rise up. Exhale, swan dive forward. We're going to do that again. Walk the hands forward into plank. Take a breath here. Exhale, up to down dog. Walk your hands back towards your feet. Lower your heels, fold it over. Bend your knees, lower your hips, sweep the arms forward. Sit back in your chair. Take the arms up and overhead. Push into the feet and legs. Inhale, rise up, reach up. One more time, swan dive forward. Walk your hands out. Make your way to a plank position. Take a breath here. Exhale, up and back to down dog. Walk your hands back towards your feet. Forward fold. Bend your knees, lower your hips, swing your arms forward. Take your arms up by your ears. Take a breath in and out. Push down to rise up, reach up, take another breath. Exhale, arms down at your side. Nice work. Okie doke. Now we're going to use our resistance band. So pick up your resistance band and we're going to hinge forward and we're going to be in this hinged forward position for a while. So I want to make sure that you're activating these muscles back here to support you when we do that. So let's do that action of like feeling like you're scraping gum off your shoe and notice how that gets this hamstring and glute to fire a little bit. And then just do that on the other side. Scrape gum off your shoe and feel the hamstring and glute kind of fire with that resistance. And then imagine, don't actually do, you'd fall on your face, but imagine you could scrape the gum off of both shoes and just see how that activates those muscles back there. I want that little bit of activation as we do these next movements. So we're going to take the band and I want you to hold the two ends and then set it down and then step in the middle of it with your 2 feet right beneath you. And then, so you're holding the ends and you can straighten up. So your feet are hip distance apart. So we're going to hinge forward from the hips. And in doing so, you might want to put a little softness in your knees, right? So we're not bending at the waist, we're not letting the head drop down. This movement is a hip hinge. And as we hinge forward, can we feel some activation in these muscles here helping to support us? Because otherwise we just ask the low back to support everything. And these muscles are really strong, they can help support us. All right, so we've hinged forward, we've got hamstrings and glutes firing, we've got the ends of the band. Now we could walk our hands a little further down so there's more resistance, so that's really variable. First thing we're going to do is just bring the hands by the waist, elbows, try to get them going up and back. So rather than out wide, up and back. So we're just going to row. We're going to row up and lower down. Row up and lower down. Row up and lower down. Then we're going to press straight back and lower down. Press straight back and lower down. Press straight back. So if you need more resistance, you hold the band tighter. If you need less resistance, you hold the band looser. Now we put those two movements together. We're going to row up and we're going to press back. We're going to bend in. We're going to release down. We're going to row up. We're going to press straight back. We're going to bend in. We're going to lower down. Let's do maybe 4 more. Up, press back, bend in, and lower down. Elbows go up, they stay up as you press back, they stay up as you bend in, and then they come down. Last one, row up, press back, bend in, release down. All right, take a little break and straighten up. All righty, we're going to do that same movement. So we're going to hinge forward. Knees can soften as you just move from the crease of the hip and those hamstrings and glutes supporting you a little bit here. You might want a little less resistance because we're going to do a lateral raise and straight down. So reaching straight out to the side. Now this is hard, so you could alternate one arm out to the side and then the other arm out to the side, or we could do both. Actually, let's alternate. So we'll do one arm because your core kicks in. We'll do the other arm and then we'll do both arms. We'll do both arms twice. Or you can just keep alternating. So let's do one arm and then the other arm. And then 2 times we'll lift both arms. And we'll do that one more time. Lift one arm, lift the other arm, and then lift both arms twice. Up and down, and up and down. Great. All right, straighten up. Nice work. Okay, just maybe you might not, I have to move forward. Well, I have to move things around. We're gonna step into a lunge, and I'm gonna suggest that we step over our mat. So we're gonna kind of stand in front of our mat and feet hip distance apart. And then we're gonna take one foot out. We're gonna step over the mat. The feet are still hip distance apart. We're gonna lunge. As we lunge, we're gonna curl. And then we're just gonna tap that back foot in. So we're gonna step back, lunge and curl, and then tap that foot in. So you might need a little more tightness on the band. Step back, lunge and curl, and then tap in. Step back, lunge and curl, and then step in, tap in. Step back, lunge and curl, and then tap in. Step back, lunge and curl, and then tap in. Couple more. Step back, lunge and curl, and then step in. Step back, lunge and curl, and then step in. Last one, step back, lunge and curl, and then let's do a few like this. Down and up. Down and up. That knee can go down as far as you like on that back leg. We'll do 4 more. 4 more. And 3 more. And 2 more. Last one. Now, could we put, lean forward, bend the front knee, the back leg is straight. We're gonna just hold the arms out. We could stay here, or we could try lifting the back leg up, coming into a balance. We're just gonna hold here for a couple of breaths. One more deep breath in and out. And then you can come up. Nice work. All right, other side. So you start with your 2 feet, and then you take the other foot out, and we're gonna step back into a lunge. Feet are hip distance. You might wanna put a little more resistance on your band. We're gonna curl as we lunge, and then we're just gonna tap that foot in. Step back, curl and lunge, and then tap in. Step back, curl and lunge, and then tap in. Step back, curl and lunge, and then tap in. Tap, curl, step, tap, curl. You know what I'm doing. I think I'm saying it wrong. Tap, step back, lunge, tap, step back, lunge, tap. 4 more. Back, lunge, tap, back, lunge, tap, back, lunge. This time we're gonna step back, and we're gonna just do a number of lunges, curling up and down as we do that. That back knee, some people, the knee goes all the way down. Some people don't go as far. What's right for you? 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. Last one. Now, we're gonna bend the front knee forward, lean forward. You're gonna want less resistance on your band. We're gonna lift the arms out to the side. We could just hold here, or could we lift the back leg up, hinge forward to a balancing warrior, and just hold here for 2 big long breaths. 1 more big long breath in and out. Great. And then come on up. Alrighty, take your feet wide. Let's turn the right foot in, turn the left foot out, and take the band. We're going to hold it in the direction of this front foot, both arms facing the way the foot is facing. We're gonna bend the front knee, and as we do that, we're gonna bow and arrow so that one arm pulls back. And then as we straighten the leg, we're gonna turn towards the front foot again. So we're gonna bend the knee and rotate towards your device, pulling the elbow back. We're gonna straighten the leg and rotate towards the front foot. Bend and pull back, straighten, turn forward. Bend and pull back, straighten, forward. So the one arm stays straight the whole time, right? And then the other arm pulls back. Yeah, so the arm that's the same as the front leg just stays forward. So do you have the right amount of resistance on your band? It's challenging to pull back, but you can do it. Pull back, keep that back elbow high. Pull back and turn and pull back and turn. Let's do two more. Pull back and turn. Last one, pull back and turn. Relax your arms. Turn both feet forward. Let's turn the left foot in. Turn the right foot out. Bring both arms in the direction of that front foot. So the arm that's the same as the front foot is going to stay straight. We're going to bend the front knee, and then we're going to pull back, bow and arrow. And then we're going to straighten the leg and turn towards the front foot. We're going to bend the knee and pull back, straighten and turn forward. Bend and pull back, straighten, forward. Bend, pull, and turn, pull back, and forward. A few more like this. Forward, bending, and turning. 4 more. Turn. Elbow is high as that arm pulls back. 2 more here. Pull back and turn. Last one. Pull back and turn. Nice job. Turn your feet forward. Bring your feet together. Let's make our way all the way down to the floor. And we are going to turn sideways, the long way of the mat. And we're going to wrap the strap around the ball of the feet. And we're going to hold, you might hold the ends, you might hold it a little further up. Holding on might allow you to pull up into a nice upright posture. We're going to take a breath in. And then we're going to engage the low belly. We're going to try and roll down. And we have a little something to hold on to here. So we're going to release the low back, the mid back, the upper back, and then the head. We'll take a breath in. As we exhale, we'll lift the head, tuck the chin, draw the low ribs in, and we're going to roll ourselves up. Sit up nice and tall, take a breath. As you exhale, low belly fires. We release the low back, the mid back, the upper back, the head, take a breath. Exhale, lift the head, tuck the chin. See if you can roll up. I'm trying not to have that little jerk in the middle. Sit up tall, take a breath. Exhale, roll down. Inhale, head back. Exhale, roll up. Sit up nice and tall. Exhale, roll down. Inhale, head back. You could be going at a different speed than I am, so I'm not going to cue it. You just keep doing this at your own speed, at your own pace, rolling down and rolling up. We'll just do a few more of these. The next time you roll down, you can stay down. And once you're down, let's take one foot out of the strap and take the foot that's still in the strap up in the air. And try to have the strap around the ball of your foot if you can. And then let that leg rest into the support of the strap. So your arms are kind of holding it up. There's not a lot of action in the leg. And then with your hands, start to pull that leg more straight. So rather than you're lifting your leg up toward the ceiling, your hands pulling the strap are pulling your leg more and more straight. And when you reach a certain point, in order for your leg to continue to go up, you're going to find that you're going to be bending your knee a little bit. So find the point right before your knee bends. If you're pulling with your arms, you reach a point where even a little bend in your knee is what you have to do to keep taking the leg up. So when you find that point, go a little bit back. And from there, kind of point your foot and flex your foot and point your foot and flex your foot. So we're going to get a nice active stretch here with the hamstring nice and long here. Point and flex. Put the two parts of that resistance band in one hand and just open that leg out to the side. Try not to let your hips lift or turn or roll here. So just take your hand is supporting that band, holding the leg out to the side. We'll take a breath here. And then with the hand supporting, bring that leg back up. Great. All right, open up the band. You can bend that top knee a little bit. Slide your other leg up. Put the other ball of the foot into the strap, and then the other leg can slide down onto the floor. So again, start to let that leg fall away from you till you feel like you're holding it up with the resistance band. The leg is pretty relaxed and being supported by the band. And then from here, really slowly start to pull the leg up by pulling on the band. And notice at what point the knee starts to bend a little bit. And when you feel like the knee is bending a little bit, then just go back till your leg can be straight and there's no bend in your knee. And at that point, push up into the strap and then pull down. Push up, point your foot, and then flex your foot. Again, point and flex. Great. Put the two parts of the band in one hand and then let that hand support the leg opening out to the side. Try not to let that other hip lift up or turn or roll. Keep the hips open to the ceiling. You're supporting that leg out to the side. It can push into the band and then bring that leg back up. Nice. Okay, let's bend the knee and we're going to take the strap aside. So let's have both feet on the floor and then lift your right leg up and cross your ankle over your bottom bent knee. And let the top leg knee fall away from you. And then pick the bottom foot up to bring the legs in toward you. Flex your feet here. You can just be here pulling in with the strength of your legs, or reach your right hand between the two legs, reach around with the left hand, hug onto the back of the thigh and bring the legs in maybe a little closer. And you might just stay here pulling in, or you could sway a little to one side, sway a little to the other side. Not big movements here, just little movements. Let's breathe deeply into that right hip. Great. All right, hug the legs in a little closer for one more breath. And then we'll release the left foot, release the right foot. Let's change legs. Lift the left leg up and drop that ankle just below the other knee. Let that top leg knee fall away a little bit. Pick the bottom foot up off the floor to bring the legs in close. Flex your feet. To be here, or reach your left hand between, right arm around, grab the back of that right thigh and pull in. You can just hold here, or you might just a little tiny sway to one side, a little tiny sway to the other side if that feels good. Breathe as you sway side to side. Come center and maybe pull in a little bit closer for one more breath. And then lower the bottom foot, lower the other foot. You might want one more movement You might want to hug, you might want to open, you might want to do something else. If you want one more movement, a little twist, something, offer that to yourself. And then whenever you're ready, you can start to transition to your final relaxation. And so if it's cool where you are, I encourage you to put on a layer, some socks or a blanket or something. If it's more comfortable with something under your head, I encourage you to put something under your head or under your knees. So we take a little time to set ourselves up so that this final pose is as comfortable as possible, lying down. The entire weight of the body now supported by the floor. The body recognizing that support. So the body is ready to relax into that support. And all we need to do is just to allow that to happen. Give yourself permission to soften, relax, release, and let go. We have muscles that have been worked, muscles that have been stretched, and they're ready to relax. And we allow them to do so. Gradually dropping deeper and deeper into a natural, relaxed state. Open. Smooth. Relaxed. It can take a while for the process to unfold. Give it time. Let it happen. We may discover when we allow ourselves to relax that some of the worry, stress, tension that we've been holding on to has been released. We may feel a little lighter as we come out of this relaxation. So you're welcome to stay longer, lying back. If you're ready to transition out, you might put your feet on the floor. You might roll to your side and take a little time there to transition. As you slowly, gradually transition to sitting up, you might want to close out this time with a little reflection, gratitude, or prayer. What do we hold most dear? And how do we want to be in this world? Let's bring forth our best selves today as we move forward. I thank you all for being here. Peace. And I wish you all a really wonderful day. And